From NBC 15, this is breaking news.
Breaking news tonight in Madison. Nearly 100 people could be without a place to stay after a fire at Porchlight. Thank you for joining us. Right now, crews are on the scene of a fire in downtown Madison. It started around 6:30 in the 300 block of North Brook Street, that building that houses Porchlight. Porchlight provides emergency shelter, food, and other services to homeless people in the Dane County area. NBC 15's John Stofflet is anchoring our coverage tonight live from the scene. John?
Well, Lee, this is literally a situation of both fire and ice here for Porchlight. The fire is evident, the effects of it here. You look through that balcony into that second floor kitchen, you can see the damage that has been done. In fact, firefighters had to cut through soffit material like this to get to the flames. Then there's the ice part of the equation. Wouldn't you know that this would happen on one of the coldest nights we've had in a long time, as you can see here by the ice crystals on the branches. Firefighters were called to the scene here. Porchlight is right across from UW's Granger Hall on North Brook Street. They were called here about 6:30, and shortly after that, our very own Phil Levin, NBC 15's Phil Levin, arrived on the scene. One of the first reporters here. Phil, what can you tell us?
Yeah, John, like you said, the fire started around 6:30 in one of 3 kitchens on the second floor of the Porchlight facility. Now, we don't know what in that kitchen started the fire. What we do know is it sounded the alarms. Now, there were 2 staff members on duty. They had to go to about 100 different rooms and knock on them and tell people it wasn't a drill. A lot of people thought it was a fire drill and were staying inside their rooms. Now, Porchlight only suggests people, they try to encourage them to find alternative housing and only stay here for a few months, but many of them tonight still call this building home.
It's devastating, it really is, because this is my home, and I just, and people are going to be misplaced, and it's just a tragedy, it really is.
Now, we were looking inside the building just a few moments ago. There's fire inspectors actually in there right now trying to determine whether those 100 people will be able to stay in any of the rooms in that building later tonight. I'm also told by staff of Porchlight that MG&E has been here, and fortunately it looks like the electrical and gas systems may not have been too badly damaged. John?
Right, and Phil, joining us right now is Stephen Schooler, the executive director. We have an ambulance coming by here. A lot of fire activity down here. And Steve,
the ambulance isn't for
not for this, fortunately. Right. But Steve, your organization does such great work. Porchlight does, and we're so sorry you're going through this. And what kind of a setback is this presenting for you?
Well, at this point, we're first things first. We're going to have to house everyone. We've got 102 residents. We're going to have to house everyone overnight. The Red Cross has been very helpful with that. Madison Metro Bus is going to provide the transportation. It looks like West High. We're hopeful that we'll be able to get them in before midnight. We're working hard with the fire alarm people. Most of the building is inhabitable, but it needs to be safely alarmed, and so that's what we've got to do. We're hopeful that all but about 16 residents will be able to move back into their residences tomorrow. So that's good. In terms of the overall damages, I have no idea what those are going to be at this point. The main fire was confined to, as you can see back here, a kitchen, basically a shared kitchen area, and that wing of the second floor.
Right. And I know you guys have a lot of work ahead of you.
And it's going to be a long night.
As I mentioned, your organization does terrific work for people who need it the most. So what can Dane County and what can people here do to help Porchlight?
Well, at this point, it's really hard to say. I mean, obviously, contributions are great, but at this point, I think we're going to have everybody taken care of for a while. The real issue will be the 16 folks that are displaced and providing resources and help for them. That will probably be the biggest issue, because that's going to be a more long-term problem.
Steve Schooler, Executive Director of Porchlight. We know you're very busy. We really appreciate your time.
Thank you.
We'll let you get back to the residents. Really, one of the most poignant scenes here is you see those residents in the buses. A very emotional, frightening night for them. As they're home, they don't know what's become of it, and hopefully they will have some answers. And one of the most touching moments, one of the residents came up to me and said, "Wouldn't you know, it's Friday the 13th. Certainly an unlucky day for us here at Porchlight. But we're glad that hopefully there were no serious injuries. We're going to update the situation here a little bit later. But for now, with Phil Levin, photojournalist Kurt Lenz, John Stofflet, live downtown NBC 15 News. Back to you, Lee.
John, thank you so much. And stay with NBC 15 on air and on the web for continuing coverage on this breaking news story. As John mentioned, we will have an update coming up later in this newscast.
From NBC 15, this is breaking news.
Breaking news, nearly 100 people are without a place to stay tonight as crews continue to battle a fire at Porchlight in Madison. We head back out to John Stoplett, who joins us live with more. John?
Right, Lee, I just poked my head around the corner. There still are some residents on Madison Metro buses. And of course, with this cold weather, with the situation that a lot of people living here are in, we want to make sure we know what the latest is with their situation because of this fire. So joining me now is Eric Dahl with the Madison Fire Department. Eric, what can you tell us about the people inside? Where are they going to go tonight?
The residents right now are on Metro buses. They're working with the Red Cross to find a place for them to stay tonight. I've been told they cannot stay here tonight in the building because of the damage, the smoke and water damage.
Okay, and Steve Schooler told us earlier, the executive director, that at least 16 people have been displaced. Do you know anything about that, or has that number changed?
I don't have a definite number. I believe we have about 50 to 60 people on the buses right now, and some people that are in the lobby of the building using the restroom and speaking with the police.
Okay, and right now we can see inspectors up there on the balcony. What are the investigators doing?
Our fire investigators are looking at the fire, where it originated, and trying to determine what caused the fire. And also, they have a lot of people to interview to find out what they were doing at the time of the fire and what they may have seen or heard.
And what type of a factor was the cold? I mean, it's very cold out here, obviously, tonight. So for the firefighters?
Well, the fire, the temperature tonight definitely has an impact on the people who are displaced. But for the firefighters, it makes things difficult. The water freezes almost instantly on the street and sidewalks, so it makes it slippery around the vehicles in the building. And also hoses and valves start to freeze up on the equipment. So they may freeze open, and then it's difficult to get everything taken apart and packed back on the truck.
All right, Eric Dahl with the Madison Fire Department, thank you so much. We really appreciate the latest information. That is the latest here from the scene at Porchlight on North Brook Street, downtown Lee. Of course, we'll be following this story throughout the night. You'll find out the latest on the morning show tomorrow and at NBC15.com. For now, live in downtown Madison, John Stoplett, NBC 15 News. Back to you.